right,
Yep.
did you miss us? Did you miss us? Did you miss us? We missed you guys. It is Wednesday, favorite day of the week, and we are so glad that you are here joining us again. Please let us know you're here. Leave a comment so that we'll know you're here. Share this link so that your friends and family and loved ones can also watch and join in the conversation with us as well. If you don't know who I am by now, then I just don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
You better know. You better hurry up and find out who she
You
is.
better know
Hurry
it.
up and find that out.
My name is Delina Hill-Brooker. I am your host. We have Anjanita.
Hello.
And we have Rasha Hoosier.
Hey guys, I'm wearing a bun today, so my face is kind of long. So don't be distracted.
Your bun is fine. Your bun
don't
is
be distracted
fine.
by the longness.
It's cute. It's cute. It's cute.
Delina's rocking us too with her hair today, y'all. She's representing. You see that beautiful island beauty.
Where's Robin? I want Robin to comment on my hair.
Yeah, Robin.
I told her I was gonna do it.
Robin, come check out our Rastafarian beauty.
Somebody tag Robin because I kind of think I'm cute.
And underneath there is Delina's real hair, sweetheart, natural hair. So don't come.
So like, oh my God, Becky. Anyway, so we are here again. We are here to discuss some of the topics and things in our book, Revealing and Healing: 3 Women's Stories of Survival. We have had some amazing conversations about some of everything. Look, we touched on a lot of different things that are in the book, including child abuse, witnessing domestic violence in the home, attempted suicide, the lack of self-love. There's a lot of things that we have addressed in this. And so since we've addressed all of our stuff that made us stray off of the path, we're going, I told you guys, I've been telling you, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a good side. So today we're going to start talking about some of the good sides and how we got over and how we began our healing process and how we became the women that we are today. So we hope that you are in for the ride. So let's see. Oh, hey, Ty. Thank you, darling. Hey, Kathy Collier. Miami's waiting on his oxtails. Tell Tiana to get on it, girl.
Oh, with rice. With white rice with it. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Got to.
So we're going to jump right in. So we're switching up the format again today. We like to switch it up on y'all so y'all don't know what's coming, CC. Y'all need to know what's coming. So today we're going to be reading a little bit from our final chapters, our third chapters, each of our third chapters, entitled Miss Perfectionist, Growing Up Twice, and Superstar. So you have to do that when you say that because that was what was in my mind when that was my chapter. Yeah. So we're going to let Rasha start out with Miss Perfectionist. She's going to read that in her epilogue. And so take it away, Rasha.
All right. Well, I kept my clothes on and we didn't have sex. I still spent the night with a man on the first date. What was I thinking? I'm breaking all of my rules already. Whatever. He's just some dude I already knew. Plus, I'll never see him again. Shoot, I had some fun and I felt like I hadn't felt in a long time. And then my epilogue. This is what I wish someone had told me when I was being molested, physically abused, and victimized, when I was hurting myself. Know that you're not alone. There are people who can help you. I don't care if you think you're by yourself. You're not. There is always a pastor, a teacher, aunt, cousin, friend, someone who loves you. Talk to that person and tell them what is happening to you. If you have a feeling something's not right, it's probably not. Secrets are never good if you're being hurt. So with the part from Miss Perfectionist, I had run back into my current husband, Mike, and we knew each other from back in the day, but there was no type of relationship, really, nothing like that. He was just my cab driver. So he was just different, but I will start and say this. I was not ready to be in a relationship, and I want to stress that to women. Give yourself time. Don't put a time limit on it. Like after a year, I'm going to start dating, or after 6 months or whatever, but be alone sometimes. Be by yourself and be okay with being by yourself. I know that you can be lonely. I know that you can feel like you need somebody to warm your bed at night. People are having fun and you're not with anybody. Listen, we've all felt like that. But those are the times that you can learn about yourself, heal your body, heal your mind, heal from previous relationships. So I will say I was not prepared to be in a relationship, but Michael was so caring and thoughtful. And when I would tell him stuff that was wrong with me, he would be like, what? I can't believe somebody has been through that. Like, he couldn't fathom in his mind that I could have been abused and hurt the way that I was hurt and abused. And he also didn't understand the way that I was. I didn't trust. I had a lot of the baggage. I was very volatile. When something would happen, I would, really volatile. And he didn't understand, but he was very compassionate and patient with me. Because if I were him, I would have left me, honey, like, for real. And he would have had a good reason to. Like, this girl, she got too much going on. Let me find somebody. There were a lot of issues in the room when we were together. Just put it like that. He had his own issues, but they weren't quite like mine. And as far as the trauma in the epilogue, where I talk about the things I wish I had known or what I would tell someone else. If you are being abused, and if you are a parent of someone that's being abused, or a family member, anybody, put them into counseling right away. What I did was I kind of led I led it instead of my mom leading it. And I don't want to misspeak or hurt my mom's feelings, y'all. I'm being really real about it. I didn't want to go to counseling, so I didn't go. I didn't want to take medication for bipolar disorder or for, different issues, depression, and I didn't. And I didn't want to go to court and make sure this person went to jail, so I didn't. And I don't know what my mom felt, but if you have the ability, seek counseling right away when something happens, even for small things, not just abuse. Some people, day-to-day stuff. Yesterday I did a video on conflict resolution, regular day-to-day stuff. You know what I mean? All of us have some type of issue, some type of, something we deal with. It doesn't have to be as deep as abuse, sexual abuse. It doesn't have to, but something where you just want to hear somebody's take on it, see their side of it, help you with everyday things in life, because most things that we deal with are small things, trivialities, and they can build up to big things. And as far as now dealing with like my mental health and how I maintain things, you guys, it's a regimen, and it's a strict regimen. I mean, every day I do yoga. Every day I walk or exercise, do some kind of exercise. I take medicine every day. My phone beeps in the morning, boom, you're supposed to be taking medicine. I try to limit my highs and lows. If something's happening where I know it's going to be exciting, like for instance, I'll be with all my family in May for my, I have a cousin that's graduating and everybody's going to be together in May. I know that day's coming. So what I do is before that, just calm, because I can't get too high and jump up and down and everybody's together and all the kids and it's awesome, because that'll go into a manic. And then after a manic comes depression. When something sad happens, when someone passes, I have to be mindful of what's going on here. Okay, this is a sad time, Rasha. Prepare. I call it it's a preemptive strike. Prepare myself for what's going to happen. You know it's going to be depressing, so be prayed up, meditate, make sure that I'm in good health, and so that I can get into the situation, and I'll be like a normal person, which is somebody dies, you feel sad, you go to a funeral, but you're okay afterwards. It doesn't lead you into the hospital. So these are the things I do on a regular basis to maintain my mental health. So the Michael chapter always makes me smile because it started off like kind of off the hook, and Michael tells the story that I was trying to take him to bed and all that, but he took me to his house to show me that he didn't have a girlfriend. Why did he feel like he was the driver? I didn't have no license back then. Y'all know that, okay? So that situation got kind of heated that night, but it ended up working out. I don't want to say too much more because I don't know what will come out of my mouth next.
All right. Oh, that girl right there. That girl right there. You gotta love you some Rasha, right?
That is
All right.
hilarious.
So, Angel, you can go ahead and go with your growing up twice.
So mine is growing up twice, as she stated. Hey y'all. Okay. I realized that I have this fantasy life in my head, and I lose my mind when my fantasy is not my reality, which has been virtually all my life. I'm a Pisces, a dreamer. All day long, I dream up different scenarios about how my life should be and how things should go. I'm 33 with none of my fantasies fulfilled. I'm 33, mother of two by two different men. I'm 33, and in a lot of ways, I'm still that little country gal from Arkansas who just wants to be loved. The true question is, what type of love can fill the empty space I have inside of me? What is it going to take for me to really be happy? And on my epilogue, in regards to just being yourself, tell the truth about how you feel. Don't bottle things inside and pretend like everything is okay when it's not. If you're hurting, let it out. Don't have it in your mind that no one will take you seriously or that the way you feel is stupid. So Of course, this was done we finished this when I was 33. That seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, because you're 53 now, so 53 and 33.
I'm still 25. Thank you very much.
I had
Whatever. But at that particular stage in my life, it was, I will say that it was a very big transition. It was 2 years after the book was published, I got divorced. And that was probably one of the lowest times in my life. I didn't divorce my now ex-husband because I didn't love him. I divorced him because he could not be the man that I needed him to be for me. And that was actually a pretty big step for me. It hurt. I mean, I feel like I almost lost my mind. I kind of sheltered myself away from a lot of different people. I just kind of put my head down and just kind of kept trying to work through things to, keep jobs and make sure I keep a roof over my child's head and things like that. But at nighttime was the worst time. And what I realized at that point was that I never got a chance to really know me. And I really needed to figure out what it is that Anjanita needed, what Anjanita wanted, and how Anjanita wanted to live this life. Because I spent so much of my life unhappy. I was ready just to be happy. So what I did do, I did finish school. I got a pretty decent job. It wasn't fulfilling. I went to another I won't say a really low point, but it was a point where I was at a crossroads and I quit a really good paying job to go back to school against wishes of everyone that I know. They were like, have you lost your mind? And I'm like, I'm losing it here. Mm-hmm. I'm in a much happier place now. I am. I can honestly say that. I don't harbor guilty feelings about anything that happened in my past. I don't feel like I feel freer. And now that, my baby who's out driving right now is leaving the nest, it's going to be just me. And I've never had that before, ever. I've always lived with somebody, whether it was my mom and my brothers, me and my son and my cousin, me, my son and my daughter, me, my son, my husband, his kids, and my daughter. It was, and I've never had any time for just me. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited about this new chapter in my life because I feel like at this point, my life is coming full circle. Mm-hmm. And everything that happened and everything that occurred, everything that I went through has led me to this point. And so it was necessary. So I can't have any remorse about how I did things. I can't. Because if I didn't go through that stuff, I wouldn't be here.
Right. Absolutely.
I smile so much more now. Mm-hmm. I do. I've gotten to the point where I will say whatever I want to say when I want to say it. And I tell my kids all the time, the older I get, the worse it's going to get. So they just need to get prepared.
Right.
Just get prepared for that. And I just feel so free. And I say how I feel. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Mm-hmm. And I refuse to because there's no need for it. There's no need to lie about how I feel. Not at all. One of the things that I'm working on though is I'm still working on myself. This healing journey, because when we wrote this, I hadn't even started. I was still in it. I was still going through it and didn't realize that I was going through it until I saw it in black and white. And that's what made it real. Yeah. That made it so real. And it was really hard to face that. But I'm thankful that these two refused to let me quit because I cried and snotted and told them I was done. I'm not doing it anymore. You guys are not, y'all understanding me. And they were like, okay, so your draft will be due on Sunday, just like everybody else's. Mm-hmm. They didn't turn their back on me and they kept pushing me. And because they kept pushing me, I had to face all of that and realize that that was not the way life was supposed to go, that I was actually a victim, that I did deserve respect and that I did deserve love. And it took me writing my story to show that to me, which was which was mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that experience, I'm going on to create the Right to Heal seminar to help others who are going through painful stuff, to kind of help them out of that muck. Because when you're in it, it's like you don't see an end to it.
Right.
And when you finally come out of it and you could turn around and look back at it, it's like, wow, look at what I've gone through and look at where I am. I am still standing.
Mm-hmm.
And that part just embodies like my whole existence at this point. So I am much happier than what I don't think I've ever been as happy as I am now. And I don't know if it has something to do with me being in my 40s and I'm just at that point where I'm like, it's just totally not worth it. Or if it's just my growth. And the reason why I kind of chose that story, talking about growing up twice, is because I had my son when I was 15. So immediately I had to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
When my son got a little bit older and I got to doing, wild and crazy stuff, I kind of reverted back a little bit. I hadn't had that challenge. So I was starting to like do things that were not conducive to my life.
Yeah.
And it seems like when I started heading down those paths, then boop, I end up pregnant. Again. So it's like, what? I just cannot be great. I just cannot have fun. I can't do what I want to do because here comes a child that I have to raise. So now I got to grow up again. Mm-hmm. And I have to go through this process all over again. But again, I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't. I mean, my son had me to himself for the first 8 years of his life. The next 8 years of his life, he shared me with his sister. Mm-hmm. These last 8 years for my daughter, it's just been me and her.
Yeah.
So I think I'm lucky that I got to spend a substantial amount of time with both of my children.
Yeah.
In their lives, and they both were able to have me to themselves. So I feel awesome about that part. I was able to spend time with the both of you. Like how many kids? Like I know I didn't get it one-on-ones after my brothers were born. It was a wrap.
Right.
But my kids got to see me at my lowest. And I think one last thing before I go is my kids saw me go through a lot. They saw me go through a whole lot. And I think them seeing me go through the stuff that I went through, okay, we're not gonna go there. But with my daughter at least, I think she sees, okay, so I see the mistakes Mom made, and I really don't. I know she loves me, and I know that she doesn't want me to have to go down that road. But I also give her the freedom to make her own decisions. Mm-hmm. And so I hope that my story, or either one of all of our stories together, can just shed light on, like, yeah, you can do some messed up stuff, but what you do does not define who you are. Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't define it. And I'm sorry
from being around Angel these last 6 or 7 months, but vacationing with her last month, she's just a whole nother person. She's definitely not the same person that we knew even while we were writing the book. She is definitely a totally different person, and just seeing her happy, she's so genuinely happy. Her happiness is not connected to another person. It's not connected to a relationship. It's not connected to even, friends or family. It's her own happiness that comes from the inside and comes out of her. And just seeing that alone, I mean, me and our other friend that we went on vacation were talking about Angel behind her back, about that. We were saying she's just having such a good time, seeing her have such a good time and be so happy and just happy with herself. These next years of your life are going to be amazing. You ain't seen nothing yet. The fact of the matter is that is the way you just described that was so good. The 8 years Antoine got, the 8 years Ariana, and the 8 years that you're gonna now these they call it the last 9, but I don't think that's what it is. But these next years belong to you. These are your years to do whatever you want with them. And also Ariana is dang, we're not supposed to say names. Sorry, y'all. I'm not good at that. Every time it comes out.
Because the baby.
She jumped the whole script, y'all, but we're gonna let her go. Go ahead.
your daughter is so protective of you because of that. I noticed she's so protective. She was even protective against me with us. You know, you guys, if you watch the videos of us being friends again and being close again, and it's because what she's seen you go through. But she also sees now how you recover, and recovery is more important than what we go through.
Okay.
We don't even understand. People don't get that word, but how you recover is everything. And she sees how to recover, so she sees how to handle things and how to recover gracefully and like the queen that you are. So watching you with this part of your life and what's going to come next, I'm excited for you just to see what God has for you and what's going to happen in your life.
Me too, because he is awesome. He's an awesome guy. Yes,
Won't he do it? Won't he will?
Yes, he will. Absolutely. And thank you. Like, I can't thank you two like enough, because if y'all would allow me to quit, then I probably would still be in a situation where it just wasn't conducive to my life. And they know telling where I would be right now.
It ain't even going down like that. Not if you my friend. Come on.
Right.
Come on.
I can't. I was trying to tag people. If you guys see me looking down, for some reason I can't tag. I don't know. But I want Minister Tuesday to come in, Dr. Adams, Uncle Sonny, Paul Bateman, as y'all know him. I don't know no man named Paul Bateman. I don't know no Paul Bateman. I know Uncle Sonny. But anybody else that wants to come in, I usually tag and let you guys know. But it's not letting me tag on my iPad. I don't know why. But anyway, go ahead, Delina.
Well, thank you, Rasha. Thank you so much for letting me continue.
I'm sorry.
You done
the
jumped
moderator.
the whole script, y'all. She done
Yes, we went out. It's a tangent, but thank you. I really appreciate
It
that.
just came to me right when you were talking, though. It was nothing in my mind. It's just as you were talking, I was just like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So my chapter 3 is, let's get back on schedule. My chapter 3 is called Superstar. So it starts out, well, my part I'm going to read. It hurts me that I have your blood running through my veins and that I have to pass it on to my children. I'm worried about my whole bloodline because of your mentality. This is what goes through my head every day. Is this pedophile sex offender thing hereditary, or is it just you? And then my epilogue reads, at times, I often felt like God was treating me like a mouse he was trying to catch. He would put the cheese in my path. Once I had consumed and digested it, he would put another piece in my path until I followed his plan step by step and piece by piece. There is no one in this world that can make me believe anything less than omnipotence of my God. He is almighty and powerful. You can't tell me that my God ain't good. So even though we're talking about bridging and getting to the happy part of our lives, let me explain this first part of the chapter, that this really is the happy part. Beginning of my happy. So the first part was a letter that I had written to my father. My now husband had asked me to marry him. And I was all the way 9,029, 500.600 gajillion 49. But okay, that point percent in. And so I just knew instinctively, I knew that I couldn't carry that baggage into my marriage because I wanted us to work. There's only one couple in my whole family that has been married and stayed married for whatever the reason. I mean, we know the obvious of why my parents didn't stay married, but we had no role models. And so I wanted to break that cycle. And within breaking that cycle, I can't carry this baggage of these daddy issues that I have going on. So I wrote my father my heart, really. I wrote him how I felt in my heart about him. And that's the light work of it. Like, you got to get the book and read exactly what was said.
LionessVision.net. Visions with a Z.
Yes, I had to release it. I had to let it go because I didn't want it to creep up into my... I set it on the shelf for so long. I wasn't taking any chances. When I'm saying I do, because this is before we said I do, I want to be all in, best foot forward. Wakanda Warriors, let's get this fight on. You know, like, I'm all in. And so that was the beginning of me. I had grown some, but I hadn't grown enough for me to feel comfortable without releasing the rest of it.
Yeah.
So, and moving to Atlanta was I say this all the time, was absolutely the best move that I ever could have done. See, I came to Atlanta to sing. Okay. That's why I came down here.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing happened. It's 2018. Ain't nothing really happened as far as what I thought I came down here for. Now, mind you, you have to read the book, but there's very good, well, back then, there were very few times where I could hear God speak. Not have a feeling, but actually audibly hear him speak.
Right.
He spoke to me and told me to get my stuff and my son and move to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
So moving to Atlanta, I'm thinking I'm here for singing and for music and for entertainment and all this, that, and the other. But with me moving to Atlanta, I didn't know anyone. My son had family here, but I didn't know them. And so with moving to Atlanta, without looking back at it now, it took me out of all the dysfunctional cycles that I was in. When I tell you I don't know how I'm even halfway not crazy, like
absolutely
so many different cycles of dysfunction. And then moving to Atlanta by myself, just me and my son, didn't know anyone. Everything I saw, everything I knew, everything I experienced was something new. Mm-hmm. And it was something new, not just because I was in Atlanta. It was something new because everybody didn't act like my family. I saw men being fathers to their children. Mm-hmm. Real men. Like, oh, that's what you do. Men loving their wives. And it was just like the different people that I was around. I was like, oh. And then it kind of got me out of the routine with being okay with crazy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then when I would come home and I'd be like, yeah, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. I'm co-sign on crazy. I got to go back to Atlanta because, and the more and more I would come back, like I've cut off a lot of relationships. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking family. I'm talking friends and family because I just don't allow that dysfunction in my space anymore. Like I can't, that was the biggest blessing of moving to Atlanta, and my son was able to experience a life that he would not have if I would have stayed there. Mm-hmm. And now we have more children. We are still together. We are happy, and so we have created our own way of life. And if we're dysfunctional, we might be, but it's nothing like what I came from.
Right.
Which in itself is a blessing. And even though I do believe that there are different levels of healing. So I was already at some level of healing, probably because I had gone through counseling and I talk about whatever I want to talk about whenever I feel like it. So I don't hold that type of hurt in. Mm-hmm. But when I wrote that, it gave me another level. He just gave me some more healing about that a couple years ago. Yeah. And so it's like, oh, wow, I thought I was 100% healed. So maybe I was 98% healed. You never really know.
Right.
And then I don't harbor any of that. Mm-hmm. I don't, because I used to feel like it was my fault. Mm-hmm. So I carried all this guilt and shame for my mother being poor because I told on my dad. Well, that wasn't for me to carry. Carrying all this guilt and shame that my brother and sister didn't do this, that, and the other because I was the one at home raising them. But that wasn't my responsibility. But all that comes from, that's what I made up in my mind. And so just being released from all of that is just a blessing. That's the other side of the rainbow, y'all. That's the bridge. Mm-hmm. That's the pot of gold. Like,
and y'all have to get this. Don't miss this. I'm always reminding y'all of what they just said so that y'all don't miss it. That's just me. Don't miss how she just said she had to leave where she was raised and where her family was from to create a new type of family. Mm-hmm. So sometimes God has to move us out of our areas. I don't want to get to preaching, but I know that a lot of people don't get something the first time. So I'm going to reiterate what she said. Okay. She thought it was about singing. The music industry was hot. That was where she was supposed to be. But she created a whole new reality for her family and stopped those cycles by moving away from that. So what she saw was something new. Oh, this is how they do it over here. Okay. Right. So now her family has a whole new story. It ain't that past story. It don't have to do with abuse. It don't have to do with dysfunction. It doesn't. So the next generation of men, her sons, I'm not going to say names this time. I'm going to be cognizant. Her sons and daughters will be the kind of men who she has created within her family. She was supposed to meet her husband in Atlanta. He wasn't going to be in Indianapolis. He was in Atlanta. The right one was where he's supposed to be. Go ahead, Angel. Finger. Church finger.
I don't think mine here either, but carry on.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're so silly. Okay, angels might not be there either. And God has to move us, and we have to be willing to move. If Delina wouldn't have listened to his voice, like, how I'm going to go to Atlanta? It's just me by myself. I don't got a son. I don't have no job. What am I going to do? All that stuff God lined that up for her. so that she create this new reality, so that the next generations, none of this abuse stuff is gonna be there. None of these secrets is gonna be there. It's not gonna happen. We
Right.
don't keep secrets.
Right.
Yeah.
I will bust the whole gate all the way down and be like, and what?
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, it's just a blessing that in itself, and it's not the fact that I moved away and was blessed because of that.
Right.
The blessing is that I realize
Absolutely.
that that's the blessing, and I'm able to tell my story so that other people, when you're in a, I didn't know nobody. My mother was like so scared. She was like, girl, well, you know, you can always come home and da 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 da. And my great grandmother, she was like, don't tell her. She was like, yeah, she can come home, but don't do that. She gonna be all right. You gave her wings, let her fly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like now my son, my oldest son, he's in LA living his life.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, you let your son go all the way to LA? Yeah.
Well,
Oh man.
I gave you all that I had.
Yep.
Like, I ain't got nothing else for you.
Mm-hmm.
Fly, birdie. Go be great. So when I'm old, you can take care of me.
absolutely. Like I need
So-
my own little cottage on your property. So and people coming in, that's what I need. I'm gonna need you to do that. Yes, absolutely.
A new cycle, a whole new cycle.
Right.
We never had money to take care of our elders, so he's the first one to be able to not just go to college straight out of school, but go to college away from home.
Right.
And he's thriving. So I cannot complain at all. Don't cry, Angel. Don't you do
You know I am. 'Cause
Don't you do it. Don't make the ugly face, Angel. Don't make the ugly face.
I'm batting my eyes so I don't.
But I want to say in regards to what Rasha was saying, now we'll get back on schedule.
Okay.
But in regards to what Rasha was saying, our stories are very similar as well, because both of our husbands ground us. I seem to be grounded most times. That doesn't mean that I'm grounded, because I'm only going to let you see what I want you to see.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have that constant, firm grounding in your life, then you will. You have no choice but to be grounded when a tornado's going and everything else is going, and you have that one. You don't need a whole lot of people in your corner. You don't need the amen corner. He's going to tell you the truth. He's going to push you when I don't want to be pushed. He does all this. But at the end of the day, no matter what's going on, he's there. He's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. We're a team. And what do we have to do to make the situation work?
Yeah.
He grounds me. And I know that Michael grounds you as well, Rasha.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they deal with us. Like, I just...
Michael's statement is, I drink because you breathe. I'm like, what? That's not cool, man. Don't do that. He's like, I'm going to get a shirt. Don't get a shirt, please. And y'all, let me be clear. It's not perfect. Things are not perfect.
Right.
I want people to always understand, looking at someone's situation from the outside, it's not perfect. We are imperfectly flawed for sure. And we have been through a lot. And there are men out here, guys. I hate when people are like, oh, you got my angel. Don't do it. There are good men out here, y'all. I don't know where you're looking. I don't know what area you're looking at, but there are good men. I run across them quite a bit. I'm not going to say that Michael is the only, or Delina's husband is the only man like this. There are good men. Again, I don't know where y'all looking, but I had to step outside of whatever my idea of what I was ready to get. If y'all better read the book, and y'all will see what Delina thought about her husband when she first saw him. You need to read the book.
I almost that would have been the worst decision in my
life.
Yeah.
But
so you're going to let this go. So you're going to let this go. And I tell people a lot. I don't want to get way off topic here. But to my women, I always say, don't let a good person go because of whatever you see that may be a small little thing. What about your flaws? What about you? Are you coming a perfect person? Are you giving this person, you are just perfect. Everything about you is perfect, honey. Your credit score is a 922, okay? On a scale of 800, your credit is perfect. No. So you have to be open to this love that's available to you, because this is what I can say. Michael gets on my nerves. We go back and forth a lot. He's back there making noises now in his office. But Michael will literally pick me up out the bed if I do not want to get out. And I say, forget it, and close. And Michael has said to me, you're not going to die on my watch. You ain't going to be depressed in this bed on my watch. It's not going to happen while I'm sitting here. So if you want to go die somewhere, you can't be with me and do it. So when I was at my very, very, very lowest, Michael picked me up out the bed and put me into the shower, washed me up so we can get out of this house, because you are not going to die in this room, in this bed, depressed. And that's to me that's the kind of love that I needed in my life, and I can't imagine my life without that love in it. But you guys, don't get caught up on height and weight and skin tone and all these things that don't matter. What's right here in the heart? Who's gonna be with you rocking in that chair? Who's gonna be in that bed with you, that sick bed? Angels. Go ahead.
Girl, I'm trying to keep myself from crying.
You putting up the finger because you're going to say something crazy. But no, you're right, Delene, as far as balance and grounding. Michael has sense. This is always what I tell people. Michael has sense and I don't. That's what it is. Michael has sense and I do not at all.
Y'all are yin and yang?
Something.
Well, see, and this is the thing with me in Miami. I think we both have sense. We just both have a different approach.
Yeah.
And I'm quick to, and he'll be like, okay, all right. But then he's pulling my coat like, all right, and sit back down.
Yeah.
So, like, he'll let me go there for a minute. Then he's like, okay, that's enough of that. Just
now, this is
sit
what we're
down
going
and
to do.
behave yourself.
Yeah.
So, and we balance each other out, because if he start going off the handle, whatever he might be dealing with, I'll be like, okay, get it out. You got it? Okay. Come on.
This is what we're going to do.
Come on back. But
yeah,
just like you said, there's no perfect relationship. There's no perfect. We are people. Everybody's people. Like, it doesn't matter. And how she was talking about, don't look at just consider the outside. My insides was all jacked up. I'm all emotionally jacked up because of my past.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't, just because I look one way on the outside doesn't mean that's what you're getting. So you have to look at the whole person. And as far as Angel talking about her guy is not there, I will say this, because this is what my experience. And I see you getting to that point. I was a full, complete, happy person by myself.
Yep. Yeah.
He was a complete, happy person by himself.
Mm-hmm.
So then when we got together, it was just like two complete people. But like, okay, I'm happy, you happy, we happy together.
Let's do it.
Combine our happiness.
Yeah.
And so I think part of what goes wrong in relationships is all these broken people are trying to get with other broken people.
Absolutely.
And you have all these broken pieces and
Yes.
no glue.
Exactly.
You have to do your work first to be that complete person to say
that if you didn't hit the nail on the head with that, that is pretty much my entire story. Before I even, I've tried and I realized that I'm probably not in a place right now where I can actually be all in a relationship. I think I need to, there's still some work that needs to be done. Mm-hmm. I know that about and I can actually admit that, which is actually a feat for myself, that I can actually admit that, okay, you need a little bit more time. Mm-hmm. You know, you need to, yes, you are happy. Yes, you are living carefree, but there's still some things that you need to do before you even think about that. Now, am I saying that I don't want to have a relationship? I mean, I do, but I realize that it's not the most important thing in my life.
Right.
It's not going to dictate, how I feel when I wake up in the morning. Okay, absolutely. I'm single. I wake up, my bed is empty. Okay, what I need to do to tackle my day today? What I got going on? I'm not letting it like.
Yes.
So,
because again, this is a whole nother story, but the idea of the horribly lonely, sad, just pitiful single person, that's gotta stop. That's got to stop.
And what's crazy is, but hold on, let me tell you what's crazy about the dating scene out here.
Uh-oh. When
they come and tell me, hey, you seem like you're a nice person, let's chit chat, I say, sure. Mm-hmm. And then you tell me, well, I have a wife.
No, sir.
Let me get this straight. You want me as a friend, but if you don't get your tail home to your wife and your children.
And listen, Delena, the moderator's gonna have to step in here because I will go.
Because it's
you not separated people either. It's $200 to get divorced. Stop the game. Stop that game. Please.
I just feel like, why don't you? I respect your wife more than you do.
Absolutely.
Like, that's ridiculous.
I respect me.
And then
no, because what I look like jumping in a situation that I know is a situation. Like,
right.
What is that?
And I literally just had somebody in my inbox, literally. And yes, I'm putting you on blast. I ain't gonna say your name, but I'm gonna put you on blast.
To say his name.
Talking about he looking for a friend that gave me your number and everything, and I'm like, dude, it's a no. I'm not going to deal with no man and a wife.
People should know not
If he
to.
wants a
People
friend.
should. People should know not to talk crazy to Angel in the inbox, because didn't he say you have a whole series called In the Inbox? That series gave me life on vacation. I missed that whole portion, y'all. Now we just having a whole conversation, y'all. So just listen.
He should go to his class reunion if he wants some friends. Okay, go find your friends, boo.
Exactly. Go hang out with your people. You know, or on the flip side of that, it's okay. She's 40 plus. She's single. She's a plus size woman, and she lives by herself. She's desperate, and I know I can get in her pants if I just say these words. I'll be like,
wrong one.
So that means you're grown. You pay your own bills and you handle your own.
Right. Clearly.
And you technically don't need anybody to do none of that for you.
Right.
So
and clearly you couldn't handle this plus size body either, because you think that's something that makes me desperate for you.
Yeah.
See, somebody raise these gentlemen, men, whatever they want to call it. I'm watching my language. Wrong. I really am watching it, y'all, for real. Seriously.
Yes.
You should be so proud, for real, because that's the stuff that makes me very angry, because we got all these women out here being preyed on by somebody that thinks that somebody's desperate.
Yeah,
exactly.
Being preyed on.
Which goes back again.
That I'm not. It's like, oh, you're one of those. And what do you mean by those? I'm just not a woman who's gonna sit here and tolerate your stuff. Now, if you would have caught me about 20 years ago, I might have.
Yeah.
Boo. I was born a day, not today.
Yeah.
So I mean,
go ahead, Delina trying to get in. She ain't never in her life had trouble getting in. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Back to what you were saying as far as what the outside looks like. So I almost missed up on my good thing just off of some physical stuff, and I'm just like, oh, so let them miss you, Angel, because that means they ain't the one. If they ain't smart enough to look at a good situation, let them miss you.
Absolutely.
Me.
But I would definitely say, Mrs. Brown, please get your husband, Derek Jr. Brown III, out of my inbox.
Text me the name. I want to know who it is.
Call it what you want. You can call it Patty, or you call it what you want to. But I ride for my sisters, period, and that's it. I'm riding for my women. I'm not playing no game with you, married, separated, but still. We've been split up 15 years. Y'all still legally married. It's $200, boo. You could have found that on the street. You could have found that picking up cans by now.
Hey,
no.
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing. Let's just touch base on these men right quick.
Let's do that.
Could you love yourself enough to not put yourself in a situation where you are not
happy in your 100%
marriage, vested into your relationship?
Right.
Love yourself enough to be like, okay, if this is not the relationship for me, let me exit stage left, get myself back together, and then go back out on
divorce is not illegal. That's what I tell. Divorce is not illegal. It's there for a purpose.
It's okay to love yourself, and it has nothing to do with being a player.
No, it doesn't. I think a lot of it, to me, and I've been the wife on the other side of cheating.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've been that wife, and I know what that feels like and how that damages you as a person, because at that point, when she find out, because trust me, she gonna find out.
Absolutely.
It's only
she got friends over here that are straight stalker status.
And we will.
I told y'all she be stalking people and
she gonna find out.
And I'm not gonna tell you tactics or nothing, but just know.
But it's also an issue of
the moderator has gone AWOL, guys. It's all over now.
No bail money. We have bail money. We got bail money.
I'm too cute for jail. Wait a minute.
No jail.
I will never, ever want anybody to feel that.
No.
Never in a million years do I want anyone to ever feel that pain, because that right there, that when I found out that it happened, when I tell you that my body was physically ill, like I was physically ill, I could not go to work. I was throwing up. I had diarrhea. I couldn't eat. Like I was really ill. And what it did to me emotionally and mentally was even deeper, because it basically told me that I wasn't worthy.
Which goes back to our original of how we ended up going down this road that we went down, because we didn't, for whatever reason, we didn't love ourselves because of things that happened to us.
Right.
So that's just a whole nother trauma on top of our trauma.
It is.
And I'm just gonna say this right here. If you come in my inbox again, I'm screenshotting and I'm sending it to your wife. I'm just saying.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
you have been warned.
Absolutely.
Bloop, bloop, bloop,
Yep.
bloop, bloop.
And I don't want any, and another thing that gets me is people say they want somebody to complete them. I don't want you to
Nope.
complete me. I
Delina
want you to
Delina just
compliment-
touched on that. You don't need completion. You're a whole person already.
compliment me.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
complete.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
You're a whole person.
Self-love is powerful. Yes, Angela. Yes.
Mhm.
And I think
It
it's something
is.
that a lot of people, not just, and it's easier for women to identify with the lack of self-love. I don't think it's as easy for men to identify with
That's
that.
true. Because you made a point, Delini. I don't think I've ever heard out of anybody's mouth to a man, love yourself. Maybe Iyanla might have said it, but you just made a point because we don't think of it like that, right? It's like a player. He's a player. He's
Right.
whatever. We don't think that. Did he get hurt somewhere along the line? What happened to him in his, in his childhood or whatever? So you're right. We can identify it in us, but in them, it comes out in all these different ways. Now,
Right.
we're not giving you a pass because of it.
No.
Don't think that. We're not giving you a pass because of nothing that has happened. You don't pray. You're not going to pray on somebody else based on what happened to you. You can go to counseling just like we did. You can write to heal just like we do. You know what I mean? All of that.
Plug.
Yeah.
Plug.
Yeah.
Right to heal. Men's class. Angel said, come on through. But don't try to holler on at her if you're married.
Bring
please.
your notebooks.
Bring your notebooks and your pens that work.
Please bring
Yes.
a pen that works, please. And
And
don't
stay out of my inbox.
Bring your wife with you. Bring your wife. Y'all can both write to heal together.
Yes, because she might need some writing to heal to go. Yeah.
And then slide in the inbox like, girl, you see what you need to heal from, girl?
Right,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
Clearly, we need to do a full video on relationships. Clearly.
I don't know. It's
Okay, let me say something about Superstar. Now, so y'all, Delina's part was Superstar, her and she's still doing her music thing. Don't get it twisted. I just want to say that she's still doing her thing. Keep your eye out for Delina because she is still doing her thing. Yes, 2018. How long you been in Atlanta? I don't know, 50,000 years.
18 years.
18 years.
I moved in 2000.
Wow.
18 years. And stuff is happening and
But I'm
things are
still
moving.
25.
Right. She's still 25. She can still pass for 25 right now. Things are still moving in her life. So don't get it twisted. Again, that's another, hang on to your dreams that you have. Just like Angel. We don't lose our dreams just because we get married, just because we have children, just because we have to raise our children. Delina's still doing it. You can still do it, women. You don't have to wait until your kids are adults. You don't have to wait. If you have some supportive people around you, a supportive husband, supportive family, they will help you with your babies while you're doing it. And your children are seeing you, just like Angel's daughter. She's seeing her she's going to see her get her master's. She's going to see her being a professor, having her own students. So she's going to see it. So your kids won't hear about your heyday like my kids always laugh. Mama, back in the day when you used to sing, back in the day, that's what back in the day when you used to, like the football player. Back in the day, Dad, you used to, they seeing it right now. Right now. So that's something different. Your kids see greatness and they see that they can achieve their goals as well. So that's a good thing. Yeah, that's good.
And Angel, I'm so proud of you, girl, because I don't even want to be that smart. Like, if you want to be honest, like, if I have to go to school as long as you have, I want to be smart, but I don't want to have to go to school that long.
School sucks. I hate it. I hate every minute.
Go through all the stuff. Like, I be on the phone with you while you be working on your stuff, and I be like, bye, I can't.
I hate
like,
it.
I'm in, like,
I can't
girl.
stand it. And I'm only doing it because I'm being forced,
Like,
y'all. I'm only doing it because I'm being forced because I can't make pennies forever. I was gonna say the amount, but y'all take a collection plate up for me. In a minute.
The thing about it is, though, you know what?
I can't be making the same thing teenagers is making. I'm a grown woman here.
I feel like for me, like writing revealing and healing was me headed towards my purpose. There was a weird way I had to get there. Like, it was so many different ways. Like, there's always been a creative thing inside of me, but that creativity was always stifled because there is no money in it. There is no livelihood in it. You can't make it that way. And things had to kind of turn around and make it for me. And I am so, like I said before, I'm just like really thankful that I was a part of that, because that has seriously,
it catapulted everything.
I was at a point where I wouldn't even do public speaking. Yeah, right. Like, who can get up in front of a crowd? I'm not. Absolutely not. And look at what I'm doing now.
And let me tell you, when we did a focus group when we first started. all talking. Of course, me and Rasha talking because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, Angel, your turn. And she was like, no, I just want to say. We're like, no, girl, come on, get it out. Come on. Angel has been not only speaking, she's been facilitating the Right to Heals. She has spoken at other things. She's been interviewing
celebrities.
Stephen Perry. Like,
yeah.
How do you go from not, hello, I just want to say my name.
Right.
And you are doing the daggone thing. Like, I'm just happy that you are open to the process and open to just let us push you over the ledge just a little bit. And you know that we got you. Like,
right.
I ain't going to let you fall off the building, but you might feel like it.
Right.
I did.
And it wouldn't have worked without you. It would not have worked without you. Your story had to be told. Your story needed to be told. And you needed, and it's funny how you talk about what the book did. Y'all both, Angel said you were in the middle of the process. Me, when I got done with the book, I thought I was done. Like, yep, I'm good now. Yep, I wrote that book. I'm done. I'm good. I'm a good person. And I was horrible. Still angry. Still scared of everything and scary. And still dealing with anxiety, depression, all of that. I thought the book was going to heal me, literally. Revealing and Healing Rasha. Okay. That didn't happen. So literally I had to lose friendships, lose them as friends, lose lots of other friends, almost lose my husband because of all the things that I was going through and still not healed from. So I have a whole nother second chapter that I had to write, and I'm still in the process. Lord, when it's going to be done, I don't know. But in the process of, because I thought that I was done. Like, I thought I was done. And I'm like, wow. So I had to have a spiritual healing and then another healing of like, just the jealousy that I had inside, the anger at people, the unforgiveness, and then me thinking that I was just okay. Like, I'm good. Yep, I'm good. And that wasn't the case. So the book opened up, for Angel, caused her to change and, step all the way out of her comfort zone. And for me, it showed me that there was more healing to be done. The book wasn't called Revealing and Healed, but I think that I thought it was. And I think that I thought that I was cool after that and I'm good and everything, I'm good to go. I had to really take stock and look at myself and see some ugly things that were inside that still needed to be worked on. And I'm still working on.
It's that mirror.
I was making the face because that's not what I thought you were going to say. So don't take that face that I was making while she was talking in the beginning as what she was saying. That's not what it was. I thought you were going to talk about, I wrote my 2 paragraphs. That's my book.
Oh, no, you always got to tell that part. You always got to tell that part. No, you do. That's your story to tell, because I was like, I'm done.
You were like,
I was like, so what happened in the middle of all that? Like, you're like,
this happened, I'm done.
The end. I'm happy. My name is
And
Rasha.
the lady was like, where's the dialogue, dude? Like, you going to just tell this story like somebody talking to somebody? Is this a lecture?
Which goes back to why we go so deep and in detail in our stories, because when you are going through sexual abuse, molestation, domestic violence, lack of self-love, unless someone is literally tapping into your emotions and your feelings, how you were feeling it while you were going through, it feels like a lie. And we wanted to connect with anyone who's dealt with any of the issues we went through, to feel exactly how we felt. If you had not gone through that, we still want you to know how we felt, because that lets you know, like, if you're dealing with someone who has dealt with some of the things we've dealt with, how differently their whole mindset is because of what they've dealt with. And then we have 3 different outcomes of similar stories. So, and a lot of people don't know. You just think people are supposed to be how you think they should be, because of your experience. But I have to be aware of other people's experiences as well, because everybody don't react like me. As you can see, I have 2 other ladies here in the same book, similar situations. We all handle subject, like I just said, I'm going back to school. I don't even want to be that smart. Angel, she was like, yep, I'm gonna get all this education. Yeah, you just go ahead and get it. And you tell me what I need to know when I need to know it. And
I'm being forced, and they want their money. So I'm like, go back to school, and if I'm in school, I don't have to give you your money, right?
Listen, they don't waste. They send an email out a month before graduation, like, "Hey, you're graduating soon."
Can't stand
it. I know.
That is so rude. Like, I know you don't have to tell me.
Right, I know it's coming. So
yeah.
I think and to be quite honest, me going back to school, Is anybody listening? No. Going back to school was kind of like my way of leaving corporate while still working towards my goal.
Yeah.
Because going back to school left me with a certain amount of freedom for me to pursue the things that I wanted to pursue.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it also enabled me to be here with my daughter.
Right.
You know, I wasn't in the things that she was kind of going through her years or whatever. Me working a 9 to 5, that wasn't going to work.
Conducive. Nah.
It was not conducive to her.
Right.
So that decision for me to go back to school was huge for her and for myself. And it got me out of corporate America. Not saying nothing against corporate America. When it gets to a point where you can't grow anymore,
right,
and you're just kind of stuck,
yeah,
you start to feel stuck. And I just was tired of feeling that way.
Yeah.
I was tired of, like, when it gets to a point like this, when the alarm goes off in the morning, and if your first thought is, how many points I got? Or what can I call in today with? How many vacation hours I got? Do I have sick time available? Like, when you start thinking like that, it's time to go.
All the time.
And that's a whole nother video too, y'all.
Yeah.
Create a job. Sometimes you have to create a job. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes you have to create a job for yourself. You know what you want to do. Create your path to get there. It's not like back in the day. We don't have to be in the corporate world. And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to offend anyone. But this is not like back in the day. Some of this stuff we can create and we can do what we want to do while being paid to do it. That's the thing I learned from watching the 20-year-olds, all my college kids. They pushed me to do that. They are the ones that pushed me, like, you don't have to do this and that. You can do this and this and this, and then you can learn as much as you can and then take all the information and bye-bye corporate world. This is my company. Another thing I always about Angel, just like how Delina and I lean towards the music and the writing, Angel always, no matter what was going on and dysfunction in her home, academics and school was something that came easy to her. So she was always going to be smart and be in school forever and a day and get every degree. Because remember, in spite of our dysfunction, y'all, we always have this resiliency in some area of what we hold on to. Remember, we always find musicians and stuff very, very gifted come out of dysfunctions. We talk about the Michael Jacksons, Mary J. Blige's, the Missies and stuff like that. You always have something you hold on to. And for anyone that's watching this, always hold on to that. Whatever your gift and talent is, hold on to that. Don't let nobody take that from you. Hold on to that and know in the midst of your worst, whatever it may be, you can excel in this area. You know what? You can't take that from me, honey. I'm smart. You can't take this. Or you can't take my singing talent or writing talent or whatever it may be. So, honey, Angel was going to always be in school forever. She's going to be the doctor of somebody.
Everybody was born with a gift. And everybody was born with a passion. Everybody was born with a purpose. And if you are not living in those things, then technically you're not living to your fullest life. So I didn't say it would be easy.
Right.
Because I stay on the struggle bus. But
me too.
If you pursue it, it will open up the doors to you. So never give up that fire, that seed that he put in you.
Right. Because
there's a reason for that. And then we have to have all these hard knocks and lessons along the way.
Yes.
But that's just part of what makes us who we are. So we're about ending up our time. Do you ladies have anything to say? Angel, you have anything you want to say?
I just want to say, this is amazing. It is. This platform is amazing. I enjoy the conversations, and I'm really thankful that I was given the opportunity to write my story and to be heard, and taken seriously, and realizing the impact that everything that I went through had on my life, and the fact that I was able to release it. Like, that in itself is a blessing.
And I didn't get a chance to say, this is our last episode for now. So depending on the feedback that we've been getting, we've been trying to get you guys' feedback and what you like.
Yeah.
But this is our last episode for now. We can come back. We can always come back. But our lives are about to get really hectic.
Delina's, the superstar's life is getting hectic.
I've got some stuff going on. Rasha's kids are coming home from school. So there's a lot of stuff so we were trying to finish up before May. So that's why we are closing this particular chapter. So we might come back with a season 2, y'all.
Yeah, who knows?
Just let us know what you think. But go ahead, Rasha. I just wanted to say that before you catch up.
What I want to say is that the book, it's funny. The book just started out being our stories, but when we started to get the feedback from people, even men, and people about what they had gone through, and I started learning things about people around me I didn't know had been through some things, my own family, different things that happened. The book was just the start. I think, you guys, I think that there's a movie or a play, something that may happen, because I feel like the stories are not like every story that we see. It's not like every other book you read. You don't read a book about three women who have some similarities but some differences. It's not always the same story. And also sometimes you're left with, wow, this was so horrible and depressing, and it ended depressing to, Lord, this person just life was just horrible. I won't say the name, but there's a very famous book and movie that gave you nothing at the end. And there's a lot of those that just give you nothing. This person's life was horrible and boom. So how are you giving people hope? How are people learning that they can be okay if they go through this? And I think that's where our book differs. It differs by, even now when we're talking about where we are right now, you see now what's happening. Angel, Delina just told you their stories. I told you that I'm still going through healing. So I just don't think this is the end. That book, it's been what is this? Is this 18? So 9 years?
9 years.
So 9 years. And I still don't think that it's over. I don't think that it's over. I think that this brought it back out to some people. I had a couple people ask me where they can get the book from. Hey, Krishan, and a couple other people that live in Dallas. So because we started telling our story, but it ended as being something that could help other people. We want someone like us, little Delina, little Janita, little Rasha, that can pick up a book like, what can I do? Oh my gosh, I'm in this situation. We didn't just do this for nothing, just to tell our story. Oh, there it is, boom. So we all work in a field where we can help people. We all every day are mentoring people. We're always doing something where we're helping people, even if we didn't set out to do that. That's what's happening in our lives. So that's my take on it.
Well, my take is, I always knew I was going to write a book. Of course, you always have the little seed that he puts in you. So I always knew I was going to write a book. I had started it several times, and then we collectively wrote the book. That's just how it worked out. That's not what I saw in my vision.
Right.
But I knew that there was a bigger purpose to the testimony. And in my mind, I had to be superstar in order for my testimony to touch people who it needed to touch. But when I tell you immediately, and I'm still not superstar, but it has touched so many people, even now that we've revamped it and come back out with it again, people are like, wow, how are you still standing? So I get to tell my testimony all over again and feed stuff into people, and especially our young girls and boys.
Yes.
That's really kind of where my heart string is, like, don't be hopeless. I've had a whole lot of hurt.
Yeah.
But now I'm in my joy.
Yeah.
So don't give up in your hurt, because it gets better. So I don't know. It's just, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Because we had a totally different plan.
Right.
I got to go back to episode 1.
Yeah.
Right.
We had a totally different plan. It didn't go like that, but I think that everything that happened for a reason, and just added to the testimony. It just, that is what it is. There's forgiveness, there's healing, there's power, there's strength, there's motivation. There's so many seeds and droplets and greatness within all three of our stories. And I think as powerful as all of our stories are individually, because I've said this from day one since we began, the power of putting them together makes it so. There's something about strong women.
Right. Yeah.
There's something, and I'm not saying we're Wakanda warriors, but we are warriors.
Oh, for sure.
And there's something, and it's hard for women to work together.
Yeah.
But when it works, it works. And that power, like, you can't stop a motivated woman.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And three.
Like, come get some if you want some.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just a blessing. It's been an honor. It's been a blessing, a pleasure to be able to collaborate with these two wonderful, powerful ladies. And I don't know what God has in store. I just can't wait to see what the next chapter is going to be, because there's another chapter.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure how it's going to go down, but even this whole live stream that we've been doing, that came in my head in the middle of the night, just like the book, like in the middle of the night. Let's do this. Okay,
middle
let's
night,
do that.
always.
So this has even surpassed what I thought it was going to be. So thank you guys for watching and commenting and sharing and everything that you've been doing, because this is like, oh wow.
And even y'all quiet folks.
Yeah,
y'all
even the quiet folks who text me while we're live and be like, I didn't want to say it or whatever.
Why you didn't want to say that? So many
But
people.
that's okay, because guess what? Everybody, just like Angel.
Yeah,
that's what Angel was. So I get it. I totally get it. That's never been me, but that's not judging. That's just I'm mouth of the South. It is what it is, and I like to talk. But that just makes my mind think of what else can I do to reach back and help others who need the help. What avenue can I take to give the message? Because he didn't give us these testimonies to sit on.
Right. Not at all.
So when you get through it, and after you're supposed to go back and get somebody else.
Yes.
And have them go back and get somebody else.
Every time. Yep. That's how it works.
Maybe with these broadcasts, maybe with the book, whatever else comes up, this is our effort to reach more people in different formats. So I thank y'all for rocking with us.
Thank you.
I'm a little bit overwhelmed, and I don't get overwhelmed that much because I am overwhelming, okay? But thank y'all for just being here with us every week and sharing and commenting, and just even the messages that we get on the side. Like, that encourages us to keep on going. So we will decide what we're going to do and let you guys know, try to revamp some things a little bit and see what we can do to make it better, and see what other subjects we can talk about, because it's not all about hurt.
Right.
The whole goal is to motivate and empower. So
yes.
Thank y'all. We love y'all, and love, peace, happiness. She always dropping something every single time.
Dang, I thought nobody would know.
At all the shows, Rasha's dropping something, falling over, moving her butt.
And that is, my husband calls me a bull in the China shop. If anybody saw the movie Ferdinand, that's me.
I did.
That's me. Y'all took y'all's kids and grandkids to see it, but my husband took me to see it. Like, this is you, bull in a China shop. Thank God it's not broke. It was water, y'all, but seriously, it was good. It was water. It was water.
Yeah, that's why she keep knocking stuff over. Okay. She just had happy birthday, Rasha, y'all. She just had a birthday too, so she still turned. Maybe, I don't know.
No, man, no.
She's like, it's your birthday.
No, listen, I cannot be turned, because when I study, unlike Angel, I actually have to use my brain, because it's not, I'm not that bright, really, for real in real life, y'all, for real, not really. So I have to actually study and really be for real. So no, I could never drink. No.
Give me someone with a book.
See, everything was so professional. Delina was so perfect. It was gonna be a perfect ending. I figured maybe y'all didn't hear the glass.
I think everybody heard it.
Go ahead.
It was resounding.
Heard that? Y'all heard that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was resounding.
She always want to have the last word. She keep butting in on everybody.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
She was gonna have the last word. Well, that is our night, everybody. Thank you again. Love, peace, and light, and we will see you